Right now, we're going to talk about Lot 1, and this sow is 223-8, and I know amongst Boots and Carl and I, we always have a lot of conversation about which sow deserves to be Lot 1. Some years it's very obvious. This year, I would tell you, is one of those years where there was some discussion and some consideration, but I think all things considered, we landed here with 223-8, and there's plenty of reasons to substantiate that decision. From a pedigree standpoint, she's a Provoked on the top side. Provoked, of course, was the Dirty Secret, the Warner bred Dirty Secret son at SGI that we used pretty regularly there for about 3-4 seasons. And then bottom side, I think, is where a lot of the intrigue comes from, and a big reason why she's here in the first spot. Her mom was the Curtain Call sow 30-7 that sold in 21. That sow was pretty popular in 21, and that was even before her Kingpin daughters have sort of taken over her resume. And when I say Kingpin daughters, I'm talking about the 15-litter sows. They're scattered around the country. There are multiple references to those 15s in this year's catalog, and I hope you take the time to read about that and study it, because I think all of that substantiates this sow and her place in history. For us, she was a show gilt. Actually, we sold this gilt at Sweethearts to Michael Harrell there in Illinois, our good buddy Michael. He bought her. They showed her. She was successful in the show ring. In fact, last year, a misconception daughter of this sow was also very successful in the show ring for that family. And then she came back to the hill, and she's been an incredible generator ever since. And I've got Boots here with me today to talk a little bit about some of the progeny and some of the things that of note that he remembers about each sow. This one in particular, I know he's got some thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of those rare occasions where, this sow was a standout at 50 pounds when we sold her there in February. And to be honest with you, kind of one of those few and far between that never really deviated physically, just how she looks. And then, again, to go ahead and come into production and be able to transmit the good and maybe not so much bad, again, is just so hard to do. And I can tell you, out and about, this spring, this sow has showed up on the bottom side of several pedigrees that have been very, very very attractive to me so far. She'd actually be the grandma of probably my favorite litter of pigs that I've seen this spring. Some in Ohio, a couple in Missouri, and then a couple more just kind of spread all around the eastern and there in the Midwest part of the country. But regardless, she, without a doubt, just transmits her build, their security in terms of their skeleton. And then these pigs just flat feed out of the sow. And then again, I think the way that she's bred, and I know Jesse will probably have a couple comments here, but not something that historically we've kind of done in the past. Kind of use more of this, 100% exotic, different kind of bred stuff on some of these better sows like this. And I can just tell you, from what a lot of the struggles have been with the buckle up line, I think this sow is tailor-made for that. She's moderate, her rib cage is right, she's chubby, and then her build and her foot strength is very, very good. And I think all that stuff lines up for an incredible litter that she's carrying.
Yeah, and excuse me, I hadn't mentioned that, and I do want to go back 1 second there on the litter that Boots talked about. One of the best pigs that this sow raised was a gangster. The Nelson family showed him at Houston. He'll be pictured in your catalog. He was second in an other cross class there at Houston, but that was a pig we were very proud of, and that was a good Barra from start to finish, much like his mom. But we've got a sister to him, so she's a gangster on this sow that was bred then and now this spring, and that litter in particular, the 19 litter, was very good. And those pigs are feeding, and that's the litter that Boots was referencing. But this sow, Lot 1, 223-8, is bred to Saddle Up, the very popular Corb boar there at Premium Blend. It was just sheer luck, and I suppose fate that I was able to get that semen when we needed it for this sow, and very excited about this litter, this mating, this opportunity. I know there were a lot of folks that were very vested in that boar that used him a lot, and I think this is a pretty unique opportunity for the buyer here to grab a hold of this sow carrying a litter by Saddle Up. So again, this is 223-8, and she sells as Lot 1.